but right now it is time to talk to Drake Bell. Drake, are you there?
Yes, I am, man. How's it going?
It's going quite well, for our last show. This is everyone seems to be very excited that you're on the show, and I thank you very much for doing it. So
Yeah, definitely.
let's
Absolutely, man.
let's start it right up. Shalene, and I'm sorry if I mispronounce any of these names. I'm sorry. There's a lot of different international people doing this, but Shalene wanted to know how is it working with the legend like Roger Daltrey when you first started playing guitar?
It was incredible. I mean, I grew up listening to that kind of music, so getting to work with him was, sort of a dream come true. It was amazing too because I got to not only work and act with him and everything, and we also got to I got to go in the studio and record with him and um, do that whole thing. It was pretty exciting.
Now, growing up, who would you say was your biggest influence to start doing, music and writing and all this kind of stuff?
Well, I guess to start playing music. Well, I don't know. I mean, I've always been a huge music fan. Guitar wise, I guess it would be Brian Setzer. He was the one. When I first started playing guitar, I wanted to be Brian Setzer, and but then after listening to more music and getting into like the Beatles and Beach Boys and all of that, and Bob Dylan, and straying away from trying to be a shredding, Angus Young, and moving more into like songwriting and developing my own music.
Yeah. Now, actually, that's funny because I was actually thinking this morning. You actually got to meet Brian Seltzer because he was on that Monday Night Football opening up with Hank Williams and also my guitar hero, Richie Samboro. So how was that experience?
Oh, that was awesome. Richie was awesome too. He was such an awesome guy. But it was incredible. I mean, here I am. This is something you dream of. I mean, I grew up idolizing Brian Setzer. I had every record and every video. I mean, I had everything on the guy, and had seen him, live 20 some odd times, and being able to actually sit on stage and jam with the guy, was that was like one of the coolest moments ever.
Now, towards the end of your Drake and Josh career, you actually got to produce and direct one of the last one, the shrimp episode. Now, do you want to continue maybe doing something like that, directing, producing?
Absolutely. That's something I've always been. It's always been a passion of mine. I've always loved being behind the camera as well as in front of it. Directing is just something I've always wanted to do. I'd love to continue doing it.
Now, in your concerts, I've seen them, and you do a lot of covers. Jellyfish, joining a fan club. You do a lot of the Brian Seltzer stuff. Now, these days, if there's one song that you could do a cover of right now, what would you say it would be?
Man, that's a tough question.
You're on the hot seat, so I have to ask these questions.
Let's see. I'd like to cover like an old song.
Yeah, any type of song.
Man. I don't know, Mr. Blue Sky. That'd be a fun one.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Now, let's go into the now right now, and that's you're doing a third album. Everyone's very excited about it, and you've actually worked with a lot of people outside of the usual Backhouse, CJ, and all them. Now, how has been that experience working with people like Toby Gad?
It's been interesting. It's been great. They're all really amazingly talented guys. I've also got to write with a lot of people who I've grown up loving. Like Roger Manning, actually from Jellyfish. I wrote a couple songs with some other guys who were just really great. And part of that whole Jellyfish gang. So it's very it's cool to kind of pick their brains, and see what they're into and everything. And it's been a cool experience. We've gotten a lot of really great songs, and so now we're just kind of piecing them all together and seeing what's going to make the record, what's not going to make the record. There's so many songs that have been written in the past year and a half. So
now, what would you say is the major difference between It's Only Time and this third album coming out?
I don't know. I think the production is I think there's less production. I mean, but I don't know. I mean, we're doing different things. I think there's some things as it stands right now that are vastly different from It's Only Time. It's more, not as vocal heavy, not as many lush harmonies, and it's not as Brian Wilson-y. It's I guess it's more just straight ahead singer-songwriter rock, just a little more. There's a lot of, I don't know, there's a lot of more emotional songs on the record, I think. It's Only Time was filled with a lot of happy-go-lucky, fun stuff. This one's got a little bit more emotion, a little bit more like Telegraph, I think. I don't know, but it's still in various stages. So we may go back and, I love that sound of that we're used to, that we do that we've done before. So I don't know. We'll see when we go in and finally piece it all together.
Yeah. So far we've seen the behind the scenes of this, and you picked the first single looks to be Our Love. What made you guys choose that song out of the 40 odd songs that you guys have written so far?
I don't know. I just really like that song, and the verses. It's a very personal song, and the verses are great. I like the verses a lot, and the chorus is, big and fun, and I don't know. I guess that's why.
What is can you explain some of the stuff that's going to be happening in the video that you're actually making for it?
It's cool. There's we use this stuff called light graffiti, where it's an effect that you use by leaving the shutter open for a longer period of time, and you take a flashlight or any sort of light, any sort of light, and move it around. And you can actually write stuff in the air, and as the shutter shuts, you can actually you can spell words like love or hours or any words that you write that will actually show up, and then you can piece it together like a flip book, and it looks like all these lights are being written in the sky, like graffiti kind of stuff. It's a really cool effect, and that's kind of the basis of the video. It's like a heavy light graffiti.
That sounds really cool. So let's just end it with a question about the tour that you're doing. And there's a lot of there's 2 dates in Mexico. There's a couple dates in the U.S. Is there there's probably going to be a couple more shows. How do you feel about this tour coming up?
I'm very, very excited. It's going to be great to get back to Mexico, and we had such a great time there last time, so really looking forward to that. And then hopefully when I get back, I'll be doing some shows here in the States, and then I head off to Canada to do a film for Nickelodeon. And then I'm back, and then hopefully we head out to Australia and Asia and New Zealand and all that. And so hopefully we just stay on the road, and I'm so excited. I love traveling, so can't wait.
All right, man. Well, I know you're pressed for time, so I'm going to let you go. But I want you to know that so many girls that I know from my hometown want to shout their love to you right now, so I'm going to give them that chance to. So for all you girls that want to meet Drake Bell from my hometown, just so you guys know, he knows you love him now. So, so Drake, I'm going to give you a little push here. I got I Know coming up, so thank you for joining me, man, and I think I'm going to the New Jersey show with a friend of mine, so I'll definitely hopefully see you there.
Awesome. I'll see you there, man.
All right, man. Keep in touch.
All right, peace out.
And that was Drake Bell. So thank you for being on my show. It was a fun time talking to you. So here is his single off the It's Only Time album. Here's I Know. So stick around.